Did you know that Illinois has been losing more people than almost any other state in the country? In fact, tens of thousands of families have already packed up and left, and the numbers in 2025 are climbing faster than ever. But here's the twist. It's not just because of high taxes or cold winters. Beneath the surface, there are deeper, more unsettling reasons driving families away. Why are longtime residents suddenly giving up on the place they've called home for generations? What's happening inside Illinois that isn't making the headlines? Today, we're uncovering the 10 powerful forces pushing families to leave. And trust me, reason number 7 might completely change the way you see Illinois. Number 1. High taxes. When you ask Illinois families why they're leaving, one answer comes up again and again: taxes. Illinois consistently ranks among the states with the highest property taxes in the nation, and it's not a small difference. The average homeowner in Illinois pays nearly double what families in many neighboring states pay. Imagine working hard, finally buying your dream home, and then realizing the annual property tax bill feels like an extra mortgage. For families already struggling with rising grocery prices, childcare costs, and utility bills, this added financial pressure is often the breaking point. But it's not just about property taxes. Residents also face income and sales taxes that continue to climb, leaving many with less disposable income than families living in similar states. Think about it. When a parent in Indiana or Wisconsin can keep thousands more dollars each year for the same type of home, schools, and groceries, it's no wonder people start comparing options. Over time, these differences add up, and families begin to ask themselves a tough but simple question: why stay here when we could live better for less somewhere else? And here's where the real frustration kicks in. Many Illinoisans feel they're not getting much back for what they're paying. Despite high taxes, residents complain about deteriorating infrastructure, struggling schools in certain districts, and rising crime rates. Paying more might make sense if the quality of life were improving, but when families don't see a return on their investment, it sparks resentment. That resentment often grows into action, packing up, selling the house, and starting over in states where their money stretches further. For thousands of families in 2025, high taxes aren't just an annoyance. They're the number one reason to quietly walk away from Illinois. Number 2, cost of living versus wages. If high taxes weren't enough, families in Illinois are also facing a painful reality. The cost of living keeps climbing, but wages aren't keeping up. Groceries, gas, rent, and even basic services have all gone up noticeably in recent years, making it harder for middle-class families to get by. Many parents find themselves working longer hours or even taking on side hustles just to cover essentials. The situation becomes especially frustrating when families look across state lines and realize they could live more comfortably in places where costs are lower and salaries stretch further. Take housing, for example. In Illinois, the average home price, especially in the Chicago area, can feel out of reach for many young families. Even those who can't afford a home are often burdened with higher mortgage payments and property taxes that never seem to go down. Compare that to states like Indiana, Iowa, or Missouri, where housing is much more affordable, and it's easy to see why families are tempted to relocate. It's not just about saving money. It's about creating a life where financial stress isn't a constant shadow over daily decisions. And here's the bigger issue. When people feel they're working hard but not moving forward, it creates a sense of hopelessness. Parents want to save for college, vacations, and retirement, but when every paycheck disappears into bills and taxes, those goals feel impossible. Meanwhile, other states advertise lower living costs, bigger houses, and family-friendly lifestyles. For many Illinois families, it becomes a choice between staying stuck in a financial grind or starting fresh somewhere more affordable. And in 2025, more and more families are deciding that moving out is the only way to truly move up. Number 3. Crime safety concerns. For families, nothing matters more than feeling safe, and in Illinois, especially in major urban areas like Chicago, crime rates remain a serious concern. While not every neighborhood is dangerous, the overall perception of crime is enough to push many parents to reconsider where they raise their children. Whether it's violent incidents on the news or stories of thefts and carjackings spreading on social media, families want peace of mind. When that sense of safety feels shaken, leaving often feels like the only option. It's not just about Chicago either. In recent years, some suburbs that once carried a reputation for being quiet and secure are experiencing rising crime rates. Parents who moved out of the city hoping for safer environments are finding themselves disappointed. Even if the numbers don't always match the fears, perception is powerful, and perception alone can drive people to search for safer communities in other states. After all, no parent wants to explain to their child why it's not safe to play outside or walk home from school. Beyond the numbers, it's also about quality of life. Families thrive in places where they feel comfortable going to the park at night, walking downtown, or letting kids ride bikes around the block. When that feeling fades, it doesn't matter how good the schools or job opportunities are, safety becomes the deciding factor. That's why in 2025, many families in Illinois aren't waiting for crime rates to improve. They're taking matters into their own hands and moving to states where the community feels safer, calmer, and more family-friendly. For them, leaving Illinois isn't just about money, it's about protecting their future. We put a lot of work into digging up these stories and presenting them clearly for you. If you found this video valuable, take just 1 second to hit that subscribe button. It's only one click for you, but it means the world to us. And tell us in the comments, would crime be the reason that pushes you to leave a state? Number 4. Weather, harsh winters. For many families, the Illinois winters are simply unbearable. We're talking about months of freezing temperatures, icy roads, and snowstorms that seem to drag on forever. Heating bills skyrocket, cars break down from the cold, and daily routines become a battle against the weather. Parents often describe the stress of bundling up kids just to get them to school or worrying about dangerous commutes on slippery highways. After years of this cycle, families start asking themselves a serious question. Why keep enduring it when other states offer sunshine nearly year-round? It's not just about discomfort, it's also about health and well-being. Seasonal depression is a very real struggle in Illinois, where short days and long nights can take a toll on mental health. For children and adults alike, being stuck indoors for weeks at a time leads to low energy, frustration, and a longing for outdoor activities. Families who value an active lifestyle feel restricted, and over time, that frustration grows. Meanwhile, states like Florida, Texas, or even parts of the Carolinas offer milder winters that allow for outdoor play, year-round sports, and less stress over weather hazards. And here's the financial kicker. Harsh winters come with hidden costs. From higher utility bills to car repairs caused by road salt and icy conditions, Illinois families often spend far more than they realize just to survive the season. That's money that could be used for vacations, savings, or better housing in warmer states. So when families weigh the frustration, the health toll, and the financial burden of Illinois winters, many come to the same conclusion. It's simply not worth it anymore. In 2025, the weather itself has become a powerful push factor, driving families to leave Illinois for brighter skies and better opportunities. Number 5. Political climate policies. Politics might not be the first thing families talk about when deciding to move, but in Illinois, it's become a major factor. Many residents feel the state's political climate doesn't represent their values or interests. Illinois has a long history of budget crises, corruption scandals, and controversial policies that leave people frustrated. For families already struggling with taxes and costs of living, seeing state leaders mismanage funds or argue endlessly without real solutions only deepens the sense of distrust. Over time, that frustration turns into a powerful motivation to leave. One of the most common complaints is how policies impact daily life. From business regulations that make it harder for small companies to grow, to debates over school funding and social issues, families often feel stuck in the middle of a political tug-of-war. Parents especially notice when these policies affect their children's education, safety, and opportunities. Some feel the state focuses more on politics than practical solutions, and that leaves them wondering if their kids might have a brighter future in a place where governance feels more stable and supportive. It's not just about disagreement, it's about choice. Families across Illinois are watching friends and relatives move to states like Florida, Texas, or Tennessee, where the political environment matches their priorities and values more closely. Whether it's lower taxes, stronger support for businesses, or different approaches to education, families are increasingly voting with their feet. And in 2025, political climate isn't just background noise. It's one of the loudest reasons Illinois families are quietly packing up and starting over somewhere they feel more heard, more respected, and more hopeful. Number 6. Education concerns. For families with children, education is everything, and in Illinois, many parents feel the school system isn't giving their kids the opportunities they deserve. While some districts, especially in wealthier suburbs, offer excellent schools, the disparities between districts are enormous. In less affluent areas, schools often face overcrowding, underfunding, and outdated resources. Parents see their children struggling in environments where teachers are stretched too thin and programs are being cut, and it raises an unsettling question. Is this really the best place to raise a family? The funding issue is at the heart of the problem. Illinois relies heavily on property taxes to fund schools, which means wealthier areas enjoy better resources while poorer districts are left behind. This creates a cycle of inequality that's hard to break. Parents who want the best for their kids either pay steep tuition for private schools or consider moving altogether. Add to that concerns over teacher shortages, debates about curriculum, and inconsistent test scores. And it's easy to see why families start eyeing other states where public schools rank higher or offer more consistent quality. And it's not just about academics. Families also want safe, supportive environments where their children can thrive socially and emotionally. Reports of school violence, bullying, and lack of extracurricular opportunities make parents nervous. When families hear about states with stronger educational systems, better funding, or more innovative programs, the idea of moving becomes not just appealing, but necessary. For many Illinois parents in 2025, leaving the state isn't just about escaping taxes or crime. It's about giving their children the best possible future. And if that future seems brighter in another state, families are willing to make the move, no matter how difficult the decision. Number 7. Job opportunities elsewhere. In today's world, where remote work has reshaped careers, many Illinois families are realizing they don't have to stay tied to the state for job opportunities. For decades, Chicago was the magnet, offering corporate jobs, financial careers, and big city opportunities. But in 2025, families are looking beyond Illinois because they've discovered something important. Those same jobs can now be done from almost anywhere in the country. Why stay in a state with high taxes and costs when you can take your job to a place with more affordable living and a better quality of life? It's not just remote workers. Many industries that once thrived in Illinois are shrinking or shifting. Manufacturing has moved elsewhere. Agriculture faces new challenges, and small businesses often complain about tough regulations. Families see more dynamic job growth happening in states like Texas, North Carolina, and Florida, places actively attracting new industries and offering stronger incentives for businesses. Parents especially notice this trend because it impacts not just their own careers, but also the future job prospects for their kids. Staying in Illinois can feel like staying stuck while other states surge ahead. And here's where it hits hardest. Opportunity equals security. Families want stability, upward mobility, and a sense that hard work will pay off. When parents realize they can have the same, or even better, career paths in states with lower costs, better weather, and stronger community investment, the decision becomes clear. Moving isn't just about escaping Illinois. It's about stepping into a future filled with more opportunities. In 2025, many Illinois families are making the bold move not because they have to, but because they finally can. The freedom to chase better jobs anywhere is changing the map, and Illinois is losing out. Number 8. Infrastructure quality of life. When families think about putting down roots, they don't just look at schools and jobs. They also care deeply about infrastructure and overall quality of life. And this is where Illinois faces another tough challenge. Roads filled with potholes, bridges in need of repair, and outdated public transportation systems leave many residents frustrated. Daily commutes can feel like an obstacle course, and families wonder why their high-tax dollars aren't showing up in the form of smoother roads or better services. For many, this lack of visible progress makes Illinois feel stuck in the past. Public services also play a role. Parks, libraries, and recreational programs are important for family life, yet many communities in Illinois struggle to maintain them. Parents want safe, well-kept spaces for their kids to play, and families want access to community centers and activities that bring neighbors together. When those services feel neglected or underfunded, the day-to-day quality of life takes a hit. Compare this to states actively investing in infrastructure, building new highways, expanding public transportation, and developing modern amenities, and Illinois begins to look less attractive for long-term living. The frustration grows when families see how much more they could be getting elsewhere. Imagine trading congested roads for faster commutes, neglected parks for vibrant green spaces, and outdated services for thriving community resources, all while paying lower taxes. That's the reality many Illinois families discover when they research other states. In 2025, the state's aging infrastructure and lagging quality of life aren't just minor inconveniences. They're powerful reasons families decide to move. For parents thinking about their children's future, the choice becomes simple. Why settle for less when better opportunities are waiting just across the border? Number 9. Rising crime in suburbs. For years, many Illinois families believed that moving to the suburbs meant safety, security, and peace of mind. But in recent years, even suburban areas are experiencing rising crime rates, leaving parents uneasy. Car thefts, burglaries, and even violent incidents have been reported more frequently in towns that once felt untouchable. This shift has shaken the sense of security that drew families to the suburbs in the first place. Parents who once felt confident about letting their kids ride bikes around the block or play at the park are now far more cautious. What makes this problem so unsettling is the element of surprise. Families expect crime in big cities, but when suburban areas begin making headlines, the safety net feels like it's disappearing. Even if the overall crime numbers are still lower than in Chicago, the fact that incidents are increasing is enough to raise red flags. Suburban families who worked hard to escape city crime now feel like they've traded one problem for another. And when they look at other states with lower crime rates and stronger community policing, the decision to move becomes easier. Ultimately, safety is non-negotiable. Families will tolerate high costs, long commutes, and even tough winters, but when they no longer feel safe in their own neighborhoods, the deal is broken. In 2025, many Illinois suburbs are losing the very thing that made them attractive: peace of mind. And without that, families are deciding it's better to relocate entirely. For parents, it's not just about comfort, it's about protecting their children. Rising suburban crime is turning once thriving communities into stepping stones for families planning their next move, and Illinois is losing more residents as a result. Number 10. Fresh start lifestyle. Sometimes leaving Illinois isn't just about escaping problems like taxes, crime, or bad weather. For many families, it's about chasing the dream of a fresh start. Moving to a new state offers the chance to reset, build new routines, and create a lifestyle that feels more fulfilling. Families imagine bigger homes with larger yards, warmer weather year-round, and communities that match their values. The appeal isn't only about saving money, it's about gaining a different quality of life that feels happier, healthier, and more balanced. Social influence also plays a big role. When relatives or close friends move out of Illinois and start sharing stories about their new lives, whether it's the sunshine in Florida, the booming job market in Texas, or the slower pace of life in Tennessee, it sparks curiosity. People begin to ask themselves, if they can do it, why can't we? Over time, that thought grows stronger, especially for families who already feel restless or unsatisfied with their current situation. A fresh start feels less like a risk and more like an opportunity. And here's the truth: moving doesn't just change geography, it changes perspective. Families who take the leap often find new energy, optimism, and motivation in their lives. They're not just leaving Illinois, they're stepping into a version of life they've always wanted but couldn't fully achieve where they were. In 2025, this search for a new beginning is one of the most powerful reasons families quietly leave Illinois. It's not about running away, it's about moving forward toward a future filled with possibility. For many, that fresh start is worth every mile they travel away from their old home. So, why are families quietly leaving Illinois in 2025? The reasons are many, and they go far beyond just taxes or cold weather. Families are looking for safety, stability, opportunity, and a better quality of life. For some, it's about escaping high costs and crumbling infrastructure. For others, it's the chance to find safer communities, stronger schools, or simply more sunshine and outdoor freedom. When you stack all of these factors together, it paints a clear picture. Illinois is struggling to hold on to its residents, and many are voting with their feet. But leaving isn't always easy. Uprooting a family means new jobs, new schools, and saying goodbye to communities built over decades. That's why the decision to leave is rarely impulsive. It's the result of years of frustration, comparison, and planning. And when families finally decide to go, they're chasing more than just lower taxes. They're chasing hope for a brighter, more balanced future. Illinois still has incredible history, culture, and potential, but unless the deeper issues are addressed, the quiet exodus will continue, and families will keep searching for places that feel more like the future they deserve. If Illinois wants to slow down this wave of families leaving, it must address the root causes behind their frustration. The first step is tackling property taxes, which remain some of the highest in the nation. By reforming the way schools and services are funded, the state could create a more balanced system that doesn't punish middle-class families. Residents want to see their tax dollars at work: improved roads, safer neighborhoods, and stronger schools. Transparency and visible results would help restore trust. Second, Illinois needs to invest in its communities. Families want safe parks, reliable infrastructure, and schools that prepare children for the future. By focusing on public services that directly improve daily life, the state could rebuild confidence among residents. Safety is also non-negotiable. Stronger community policing, smarter crime prevention, and investment in youth programs could help address both the perception and the reality of crime. Third, Illinois should embrace the opportunities of the new economy. With remote work becoming more common, the state could attract and retain families by offering incentives for small businesses, entrepreneurs, and tech industries. A forward-looking job market would give parents hope for stability and give young people reasons to stay. Finally, leaders must focus on quality of life because families don't just want to survive, they want to thrive. From reducing red tape for businesses to modernizing infrastructure and fostering vibrant communities, small changes can add up to a big difference. The truth is, Illinois doesn't have to keep losing families. With thoughtful reforms, investments in people, and a renewed vision, it could transform from a state people leave into a place families are proud to call home. We put a huge amount of effort into creating these videos to bring you the full story behind the headlines. If you found this valuable, please support us by subscribing. It's just one click, but it means the world to us. Share your thoughts in the comments. Would you leave Illinois or stay and fight for change? And don't forget to check out our previous video for more insights into why families are moving across America.